And the reason you won't hear me argue facts
Cause you can't. Is that
is
it?
because I believe that it takes away from what should be recognized, the tragedy of this event.
That don't make no sense. I'm not gonna argue about, whether or not I'm guilty. Nah, that's not why I became a lawyer. I didn't go to all those lawyer classes to get that lawyer degree, that lawyer education that I don't have. I didn't go through all of that so that I could argue facts. Come on. That's a waste of time.
All right, with that, let's bring the jury out.
For the record, may I respectfully request the legal reconsideration of your ruling?
Nope, that's a negative.
So is that a tacit agreement that you don't have to answer my objection, Your Honor?
Nope.
I decline to reconsider.
I reject that ruling and take exception to that ruling, Your Honor.
Noted for the record.
For the record, may I request a legal or factual basis for your ruling, Your Honor? For the record, may I respectfully request a written judicial finding of facts and conclusion of law on this issue, Your Honor?
Denied.
For the record, may I respectfully move for interlocutory declaratory appeal on this matter?
I'm not the court to address that.
For the record, may I move to stay these proceedings until this instant matter is adjudicated by a court of competent jurisdiction, which this court has no subject matter jurisdiction.
Denied.
Under
The jury
based
is
on
coming
what
in.
law or
All
fact?
rise for the jury, please.
Based on what law or fact? Because I'm going to inform the jury of their power. They deserve to know.
Go ahead, Mr. Brooks, your closing argument, please.
Good afternoon. It's been a long day. First off, I'd just like to start by letting you guys know that it's a lot of information that you guys should be privy to, I believe. One thing that I believe that you have not been privy to is the truth of your rights and your duties. Being the jury, you alone have the power, not well-prepared DAs with well-prepared and clearly rehearsed speeches and exhibits and a lot of theatrics. Frankly, not the judge. You and you alone have the power. You and you alone decide what is truth and what isn't truth. You should be informed that you have the power to nullify any law that you don't agree with.
Objection. Move to strike the statement.
Sustained.
Objection.
I will strike from the record the last statement made by the defendant. The jury will disregard it.
Which is clearly what I've been saying.
He really believed they would nullify for him. I know. I thought that was so funny, like the most funny. If they knew about the nullification, then I would be free already. That was his thought. He really did think that. His brain allowed him to think that. Or vice versa.
I believe that not only is it fair, but it's essential that you be privy to all knowledge, not knowledge that certain people feel that you should hear and shouldn't hear, disguised under the color of law.
Yeah, they should know that you are on the registry. They should know that. They should know that you got a history of chasing children on the playground. They should know that. Darrell, they should know that you just got finished shooting at your nephew and that 2 weeks earlier you ran over Erica's foot. They should know that too. Guess what? Guess what they kept out of this trial? All those things I just named. They didn't let the jury hear about any of those things. But you think that if we let all the things in, the jury's going to nullify your ass. They found you guilty without even knowing that shit. Imagine if they knew it. They probably changed the laws just so they could execute you. I mean, that's what I see. That's what I think would have happened. They'd have been like, well, first, before we sentence him, we would like to change the laws. Oh, no. Don't worry. They don't have nothing to do with you. It's just a coincidence. We got some petitions to sign and all kinds of things. We're just going to have to, we got some things we got to make happen first. Because we need to be able to execute this one. This one need to be, we need to push a button. We need to push a button, make this one go bye-bye.
The fact of the matter is, just like I did with my opening statements, I don't have a well-prepared or rehearsed speech. I didn't look in the mirror and say certain points to myself over and over again to make sure I have them right or anything like that. I've chosen to speak from the heart in my opening statements, and now I'm going to speak from the heart.
Darrell got a terrible heart.
What you won't hear me do is argue facts. And the reason you won't hear me argue facts,
cause you can't. Is that it?
because I believe that it takes away from what should be recognized. The tragedy of this event, it should be recognized.
That don't make no sense. I'm not gonna argue about, whether or not I'm guilty. Nah, that's not why I became a lawyer. I didn't go to all those lawyer classes to get that lawyer degree, that lawyer education, okay, that I don't have. I didn't go through all of that so that I could argue facts. Come on. That's a waste of time. It goes against all the things that, that happen. Out of respect for all the things that happen, I don't want to argue whether or not I'm the one that did it. Darrell, I don't think you thought that sentence through before you said it. That didn't make any sense at all. In fact, that sounded 100% like a confession. All that sounded like at all was a confession. It sounded 100% confession. Like, how should I confess? Bam, that's what you came up with. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to argue facts of this, facts of that.
Facts of life.
I'm not going to waste your time doing
Living
that.
the facts of life. The facts of life. The like
It's a little
button.
emotional. I apologize for the long pause.
My name is what? My name is who? My name is a little emotional.
It's hard to
Charlie,
keep everything together
It's past Charlie's
emotionally.
bedtime.
And honestly, I don't believe that I have any more tears left.
I've cried
It's been
all
hard
the
year.
tears that I can cry.
That opens the door to talk about forgiveness for a little bit. With every
It's the
healing
man.
process, there comes
He's done it before. He'll
a
tell you.
forgiving process. It's not an easy thing for anyone. What you've been hearing from the prosecution, and not to take anything away from them, but let's call it what it is. You've been hearing a lot of rerun. Same things over and over and over. No different than when you turn on the radio and you first hear that song that you don't like when you first hear it.
You talking
But
about
they
his
play
song?
it so much that eventually you start saying the words to yourself before you even realize it. And then you sit and you go, I hate that song. Why am I singing it? That's what's been happening. Rerun. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Attempting to make things stick in your head that simply aren't true.
Darrell, we are not about to go and download some SoundCloud, one of your songs. That's not happening, okay? He like, when you listen to a song enough times, eventually you start to think that it's not shit. Eventually you'll start to think, you know what, maybe this isn't the worst song I've ever heard. That's how Darrell trying to sell. That's a selling point for his album, for his songs.
Why do I say
Getting
what am I
money.
saying? I say look at the testimony. The thing from the prosecution here has been intent.
What the business? Activate Chibi.
We all know what's been said. We all know the picture that's been painted.
Hey Darrell. Hey Darrell. So we just got finished watching this video of you. It was like a long time ago, like what year? I don't know. It was like hairline year. It was back when you had a hairline. It was then. You were like in this place because you had been taking this stuff. Oh, that's right. Meth boy flying. That's right. You was in there for meth boy flying, okay? And you were talking about how now you just like, the scum of the earth now. And, you had crossed a line that you could never pass again or go back from, kind of like your hairline. It's like once you get but so far, it ain't nothing that you can do, right? When I was watching that, I was thinking, did you see any of this coming? Did you see any of it? Did you actually want to go to jail forever? Because it seemed like you was trying for this. I just wanted to know if you met your goal or if you surprised yourself. Darrell, did you meet a goal or did you surprise yourself? Basically, that's what I'm asking. So just whenever you could let me know would be great. If you don't, I don't give a fuck. Toodles, mascoodles. Oh yeah, Darrell, I think your homeboy is in the courtroom. He might have got up and walked out actually. He was back here a second ago. I'm curious to know if you know that guy. Is he like stalking you? Do you need help? Blink twice if you need help. Oh, I guess you don't need help because you don't blink at fucking all.
Even the prosecution said themselves. How can you look in somebody's head and say this is what they intended to do?
Oh, Erica Fine. Oh, her real name is Fine. Her real name is Erica Fine. That's funny.
You know,
I didn't know that.
for a year,
Oh,
I've sat and
like
gone
that.
through this, feeling so powerless, letting other people run with the narratives.
With the narratives. Stop running with the narratives. It's the narratives for me, honey.
Sitting back helpless while other
I'm
people paint a picture
helpless.
that
They all painting. They didn't give me no paint.
has zero truth. Zero.
Ain't got zero truthuses in their toofuses. Ain't
I
got no
understand
proofuses.
about healing myself, tragedy, pain, all that.
Yeah. Did you heal yourself?
A lot of it, there's no need to get into.
Uh-huh. It's funny actually now though. I can say this though. That video that we watched of Darrell, you know, when he was meth boy flying, or he was the boy flying with meth. Back when Darrell was the boy flying with meth, okay? He definitely looked young. So we can say this for sure. This is an old ass Darrell face we looking at right here, because he almost don't even look like the same person. Am I like his He definitely looks different. This is definitely the old version. It's definitely the old version of a Darrell, because that was a young one. That is so funny. We got this big ass face. Even in that video, his face didn't look that fucking big either. In that video, his face didn't look this big. When did Darrell's face get this goddamn big? Or did his body shrink? Is that, oh, maybe that's what happened. Maybe in that video, he wasn't so skinny. And so the proportion didn't look like that. Because Darrell's so fucking skinny is why, I think it's why his head looks so goddamn big. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe in that video, because he was in jail already and he, you know, he was eating food instead of meth. Oh, Darrell.
I
Oh.
myself in my own life have had to do a lot of healing.
I've had to heal in my life. All of my life, all of my life.
As a man with children myself,
A man with all the children I have that I never see and don't pay no mind or money to.
I find it hard to believe.
I find it hard to believe, yes. You find it hard to believe, Darrell. That what? That you here? That you got
That
caught?
anyone who's really had conversations with me, spent time around me,
Uh-huh. Ain't nobody did that. Quit lying.
would think for 1 second
Uh-huh.
that this is an intentional act.
Oh, wait, that's a confession. That's a for sure a confession. He didn't say would think that I would do this. He said would think that this, anybody who knows me, who's ever been around me, nobody would think that this was an intentional act. Well, that's definitely a confession that you done it. Because you're contesting not that no one would believe you didn't do it, but that they wouldn't believe you did it on purpose, which is a confession that you did it. And guess what, Darrell? Nobody cares even if whether it was on purpose or not. What we know is that it was on purpose, first of all. Just if we're going to keep it honest here. We do know that it was on purpose. It was definitely on purpose. I mean, you honking your horn with your head out the window, waving your arms. Clearly you realize what's in fucking front of you. Okay? It was not on purpose. Those people just kept appearing every 2 seconds. There was like nobody there. Then suddenly there was a person and nobody and somebody and nobody. And then all the people, you know. But none of which I knew of until they were behind me. Right, Darrell? No? Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I just had a, you know, you think about that. Like if you've seen any of it, then you know that the car does this. It's like this damn near consistently throughout the parade. The car is doing this because it's consistently running over people, right? He's in the fucking car. He's in it. He's in the car with his hands on the steering wheel like this, doing this because the car is going like this. And the window's down. The screams we hear that are just hard to hear when you're listening to like the trial thing, when they're showing the parts of the thing and you hear all of a sudden people start screaming. He's hearing that from right outside of these fucking windows because his windows are fucking down. And he's doing this because he's driving. He's literally hopping up and down because the car is doing this. And he's hearing that screaming, but the most loud because it's right there. Shit is crazy. And then here he is. I can't believe that anyone who's ever known me would think that this would be intentional. That I would do this intentionally. No one who's ever known me or been run over in a car by me or shot at by me or had a restraining order on me would ever think I'd be capable of this. Darrell, you reaching for the stars, honey.
I've never heard of someone intentionally trying to hurt someone while attempting to blow their horn.
Oh, yeah. Ain't nobody ever try to hurt nobody while hitting a horn. Those two things, you can't even do one at the same time as the other. Like when you honk the horn, your hurt button don't work. when you hurting somebody, your horn button don't work. That's how that works. Well, you can only use one at a time. Okay. You really reached for that one. You reached for that one with your short ass arm. Ain't no wonder it didn't reach. Okay. Ain't no wonder you ain't catch it. I ain't never did nothing to nobody,
Well,
Your Honor.
Attempting to
I'm an
alert people
innocent
of their
man.
presence.
Why would I alert you to my presence?
Which brings me to
I'm such a sneaky little
more
bitch.
information that
Uh-huh.
I believe that you should have been privy to.
Uh-huh. What's the privy? Privy me. What's it? What it? Give me the information. Let's see what I do with it.
And I'm sure that
Uh-huh.
the prosecution will beg to differ. But the fact of the
They
matter
gonna beg
is,
to differ? But will they beg to differ though? Will they differ to beg? They're begging to
the
differ.
vehicle in question, make a model of 2010,
Uh-huh.
Ford Escape.
Uh-huh. They can't escape.
The vehicle in question,
Mm-hmm. What about it?
actually 2008, 2009, and 2010 of that model
Uh-huh.
was in fact recalled.
Uh-huh.
Objection, misstatement of the facts, facts not in evidence.
Was in
Improper
fact-
argument, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Was in fact recalled.
Uh-huh. Daryl said, look, I'm gonna say what I wanna say. Okay? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do whatever I need to do. Look at this. Daryl. Hey Daryl, let me just help you out here. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody cares. I say it with confidence. Nobody but you cares. There. Nobody but you.
Was in fact a class action lawsuit against Ford
Was it a
Objection.
for those
lawsuit?
models.
Evidence.
For
Was
those
it a
model
classy
vehicles
action? Was
Sustained.
it?
The jury will disregard.
How
Information
classy we
that-
talking here?
that you weren't allowed to be privy
Sorry
to.
about that. Open up.
Why?
a window.
I don't know. That information, malfunctioning throttle bodies,
Mr. Brooks, move out.
it's information that you should have been
Hit
privy
the like
to.
button.
Vehicles that malfunction and accelerate not being able to be stopped.
That's
Objection,
the
that is
acceleration.
It's information. It's
Your Honor.
There's an
information.
objection. Hold on. Strike
How's it a
these.
misstatement when I
The
have the
80s.
information?
Mr. Brooks, move on.
Information that was taken away from you. Why? To prove a case? Information that you definitely should have been privy to.
All right, y'all, make sure you hit the like button, okay? And once this thing posts, make sure you go in and leave me a comment, all right? Like that. Leave me a comment, okay? Yeah, in the comment section, tell me if you think that Darrell's children will come and visit him in prison. And if so, which one is more likely to do it? Like, which one of his kids is more likely, you think, to come and visit him in the prison? There's the little one, there's Erica's, there's the boy, and then whoever that other one was, okay? Y'all let me know. Love you, boos.